Hello everyone, I'm Elena and this is Applewood Tarot. Today I want to do a reading for the collective with another spread I've created. If you're curious, this one is inspired by the shoes that were danced to pieces. But before I start, I have an announcement. I aim to someday be a professional tarot reader, but I'm aware that my skills need to develop more before that happens. So I've decided to offer readings to you. Now and again, I will make community posts where viewers can submit their questions according to my guidelines. When I've received enough questions, I'll make a video where I answer them with readings. I welcome constructive feedback, but let's stay civil. I do have a personal schedule and upload every other week, so I think, assuming there are enough queries, I will post the response around early January. So keep an eye out for that if you're interested. Now let's get to this video's reading for the collective. Keep in mind that this is general and in no way gospel. You have a free will and a free won't. Make sure to use them both. From personal experience, peace, as opposed to happiness, is what is desired at interesting times like these. So I will ask how the collective can achieve peace at the time that this video goes up. What the collective desires is stability and prosperity. They want a leader who is generous and giving, who is a provider of these things. It doesn't particularly bother the collective that those in power are rich, as long as they share that prosperity with those that they rule over. This is someone who understands and feels sympathy for those who are typically seen as at the bottom of the ladder. Perhaps this is someone who has risen through the ranks. The collective really just wants a truly good ruler. Someone who knows how to nurture the land and the world around him. Someone who is optimistic and passionate about improving the world. In order to gain this desire, the collective must fight for it. Use that passion and join the fight along with those who are making their own voices heard, even if all it seems to do is add to the fray. We know that if the collective makes enough of a ruckus, we can effect desired change. With that said, do not aim to seriously harm the other party. The aim is to defeat one's enemies and come out on top, but that doesn't mean you have to put them out of commission, so to speak. Use only what is necessary. We are aiming for peace, after all. What is demanded from the collective at this time is strength. That's something else you probably don't want to hear. Make sure to master your anger and baser instincts that want to lash out at the world. It's important to fight for what you want and believe in, but it must be done with a level head. We must be careful not to unleash something truly destructive. This also helps to prevent infighting in your chosen group. It's not that everyone has to agree, but there are things we can set aside in order to achieve a common goal. Hold on to hope. It can be done. Peace, and the proper leader that the collective desires, can be found in newly awakened passion. Perhaps there's a new up-and-comer full of fire and inspiration. But more likely, it's in the inspirational spark that calls the collective to take action. I think of a relay race. Take the baton and run with it. I know most of us feel we've already had our turn, or it's otherwise unfair to ask us to carry it, but what other way is there? Do your part, and maybe a little extra, and we can compensate for those who otherwise can't or won't take action. If all of this is achieved, the result will be restriction. I'm sure that many of us can look at this card and feel dread. Some of us probably feel that we've lived this way for most of our lives. And yet, think about the problems we have today. Restrictions are not necessarily a bad thing. How many things could improve if there were boundaries and restrictions placed upon them? There are many times when restrictions are not only necessary, but beneficial. The phrase "good fences make good neighbors" comes to mind. Also, how many people look at certain authorities and say, that shouldn't be allowed? That's restriction. Think of the audacity of some people on public transportation. Should their actions be restricted to some degree? I look at this card and think that the end result will be feeling our way in order to avoid the dangerous thoughts that can bring harm. The collective will be doing this independently, if that makes sense. So to recap, what the collective wants is a good leader who can bring the best out of the world. In order to gain this, the collective must fight for it, aiming more to cause a commotion than to actively harm the other party. What is demanded of the collective is to remain calm and in control. Do not allow these baser instincts and emotions, like fear and anger, to take over and dictate what we do. The peace and good leader that is sought can be found in inspired action. And the final result will be restriction. Healthy restriction, I would say, that has us move more carefully through the world. For best results in achieving all this, refrain from burning the world down. This ties into the restriction of the Eight of Swords and strength. I think the underlying message here is to take right action, as in, be the change you want to see in the world. At this time, there is no need to be destructive. There are times when destruction is necessary, but this is not one of them. Let's focus on building and transformation instead. That's all for this reading. I hope it was helpful and inspires you to create what peace you can in your own corner of the world, however big or small. Thank you for sharing your time with me. Let me know if it's actually a terrible idea to open the door for public readings. It is the internet after all. But I'm open to suggestions. Thank you again, and see you next time.